Well, welcome everyone. My name is Phyllis, PSC 100X on the dApp. And I just wanted to say hello and welcome to the daily discussion call and the dApp overview. I'm so glad and thankful that you're here today. For those of you who are celebrating a holiday weekend, I just want to say happy Easter. And I think there's a couple other holidays out there, Ramadan, and I think a couple other ones out there as well. So I hope you and your family have a blessed weekend. So again, my name is Phyllis. I'm happy to be here. And today we're going to cover how best to utilize the Vetter platform. This call, it will be interactive. So I'm going to ask if you have any questions or anything like that. Make sure that you surely just jump in. Usually Saturdays is a little bit of a smaller group because of the obvious. Everybody's out doing things with their families. So we can make this as interactive as you like. So go ahead and jump in, raise your hand, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. So whether you are a veteran in our community or whether you are brand spanking new, today I'm going to share with you the best platform where you can actually utilize our platform and take a look at some amazing opportunity on our Vetter platform. I can tell you right now, guys, we have the best research tool in all of the crypto space, where you can actually earn yourself and find new projects from a 2x, 5x, 10x, and beyond. Now, however, I want to share with you that this is not financial advice. I'm not going to tell you that you're going to make a ton of money here. I am not a financial advisor. If you need financial advice, please seek one. Seek someone who can help you. I'm just going to share with you experiences of what I've had and what we've already experienced using the Vetter platform. So if you're brand new and you have no idea what Vetter is, no worries, you will. All you're going to have to do is go to vetter.ai and learn what we're doing and why we're doing it and why we are absolutely the talk of the town in the crypto space. So today's, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share something that has always been, an issue in the world of crypto, which I'm going to actually get into in a second. But first of all, I do want to congratulate LDN, on being the top scout of the week for the week prior to last week. So we have a new one coming up real soon. He is one of our purple scouts and vetters. So congratulations, LDN, if you're on the call. Just wanted to say congratulations and welcome to that 100X club. The next thing I want to share with you are just a couple other announcements. I want to make sure that if you haven't seen the Instagram page, you definitely want to go ahead and get there. Okay, click on the link. Well, you can't click on my screen, right? But you can write down, Instagram.com/Vetter AI _AI, I think it is. And what you can do is go to this Instagram page and like it and send messages and start to follow them, because there's going to be a lot of great information that you're going to see there as well. Also, I'm not sure if this is still on, so I'm not going to actually repeat it because I want to make sure that I am not giving you information that's not viable at this time. I know recently we showed some incredible, like little snapshots of what our website's going to be looking like very, very soon. So that's going to actually happen, pardon me, probably in the next week or so, I'm told. So, but again, don't hold me to it because, sometimes in this crypto space, it gets a little crazy. So what we're going to do today, guys, and I'm actually going to repeat this call because I did it the other day, but unfortunately there were some issues regarding the actual link, and it wasn't, my fault or anyone's fault. It was an issue that happened with the Zoom, unfortunately. And so I wanted to redo it because a lot of people did say to me, I couldn't get on and I wanted to hear about that topic. So I'm going to share with you that topic. Now I'm going to tell you this, that rug pulls they happen every single day. And there was one actually today, and I'll explain that to you in a little bit. Okay, I typically do pretty good in trying to figure out the rug pulls, but unfortunately I got caught with one today, which I was very shocked about because they were actually developers that I've actually followed in the past. But you know what? It happens. And that's one of the rules about cryptocurrency, is that you really can't, you have to take the emotion out of what you do here, because I can tell you now, there's going to be rug pulls, there's going to be honeypots, there's times when you're going to do amazing. Okay, and I can tell you, I've done amazing over the last few years, and you will have those opportunities as well. So how do I identify a rug pull? Well, first of all, if you don't know what one is, and I'm going to share it with you, because some people obviously, are brand new and they may not know what it means. So a rug pull is primarily a specific type of a DeFi exit strategy, where the project team, what they do is they pull out all the liquidity of their tokens and they disappear with the investors' money. Not fun, I can tell you that, not a fun thing. And I'm sure if you've been in the crypto space, it's happened to you. Also, there's NFT scams out there as well. They'll usually run off with your funds as soon as you mint your NFT. So I am not an NFT person, not saying that I should be, or shouldn't be, because I should be. I just haven't had the time to really dip my toe in the water. But I can tell you that is one thing I have learned and read that you need to be careful of. So let's go and explain some of the things on how to identify rug pulls. Well, first of all, I can tell you now, we talk about the credibility of the team, and we talk about that all the time, right? And I can tell you now that what happens is that is 100%. Usually, I shouldn't say 100% true, but usually really true, okay? So if there's no team credibility, you typically want to stay away from, from that particular project. Or, like I said, I actually liked the project, liked the devs, had numerous conversations with them, and knew they were credible at one point. But you know what? Things happen in people's lives, and sometimes they make a wrong turn. So I hopefully this developer gets back on track somewhere, but stays far away, from us. So there's usually no or very little team credibility. And typically they do have a great track record. And I'm one that actually follows a lot of what we call GOATs, greatest of all times. Now, you can actually get a lot of information about them in their social media. You can get them in their Telegram groups. You can also go to their LinkedIn profiles. But some of the things that you want to look at in LinkedIn, you want to look at how long is that? How long do they have that whole LinkedIn? Do they have any recommendations on there? I know myself, I have a lot of people who've recommended me on LinkedIn. If they don't have those types of LinkedIn, social media kind of going on there, you might want to take a little bit of a serious look in another direction. Look them up on Facebook, Google them. Gosh, guys, I can tell you this, I've actually called places employment history. That's the truth. I did that with Market Move. I was the scout in the veteran Market Move and did exceptionally well. It's still doing well. Okay. But I actually called employers at that point to verify the history, because I wanted to make sure before I put something out there, it was in good standing. What industry have they been in? Why do I say that? Because I can tell you now, some of these developers that I'm coming across, and you find out what their employment history is or what they've been involved in, and some of them haven't even been in the crypto space. They haven't even been anywhere near an industry that even remotely is recognizable in the DeFi space. Okay, it's really pretty crazy. At least they need to be developers, right? Software developers of some sort, to be able to actually, be in this industry. If the white paper is written in a very ambiguous manner, oh boy, ambiguous manner. I had to get that out because I can tell you now, guys, that happens a lot. You'll hear me on a call sometimes. I'll start going through the white paper and I'm like, whatever that means, because sometimes they try to use this language that totally you feel is over your head. But unfortunately, it's really not over your head. Sometimes it's actually to confuse the heck out of you. So you want to be very, very careful, when you're actually looking at them as well. So, just if you don't know how to read a white paper, that's okay. We'll teach you how to do that. Okay. We'll definitely teach you how to do that as well. I am going ahead of myself here. All right. Now, is hype always a good thing? Hype is not always a good thing. Sometimes it is. Sometimes we look at hype and we're like, there's a lot of hype happening there, so I know it's a great thing. Well, it's not always good, truly, guys. You want to make sure that you're really taking a look, at what type of hype is there. Is there a ton of memes on their Telegram? Are they doing some ridiculous things? You can get a lot of information from their TG Telegram. So they also inject a substantial amount of liquidity, okay, to boost the confidence level of you. So I could tell you that they'll say to you that, they're, I don't know, 100% of what they, raised in the private sale is going to go to liquidity or whatever they say. But I can tell you now, some of that is not accurate. Now the DEX, the decentralized exchange makes it very easy to anonymously create tokens. You can actually do that for free. Okay, without an audit, without anything. And people know that. So you have to be extra, extra careful on what you do. That's what I love about the Vetter platform. Are we always 100%? Of course not. But I can tell you that we do our due diligence. Check the website. You can do that by going to Who Is. Who is a great website you can go to and just put their website in there. Check the URL. How long have they had it? Was it just created a day before? Was it created this morning? Was it created last week? Look at it. Is the name legitimate? Sometimes you'll go look at Who Is, and I'll put the website in, and it's not even their website. Okay, because it was their website, but it was a failed coin that happened before, but they never even went in and changed their website. So it's pretty significant. You want to make sure that you check that. What are some other ways to identify? Well, I can tell you now, the developers don't need to completely drain a pool of funds, okay, for it to be called a successful rug pull. You can actually drain funds over time. So you might think, this is great. It looks like it's doing really well. And then all of a sudden you see some sell-off, and you're okay with that because, this is crypto space. It's going to go up and down, right? And then all of a sudden you get a little bit more sell-off. You want to make sure, guys, that they're not just starting to completely drain their funds, okay? Because that happens, and that's called, in our world, called a slow rug. Example, if there's a couple of hands in control, let's just say like 60% of the total supply, they can easily sell them in one sitting, right? And crash the token price easily. Okay. Or they can actually, take it out gradually and still crash the token price. So how do you avoid this? Well, you check the blockchain, the Etherscan or BSC to find the token's distribution. And as a rule of thumb, one of the things that I look at is that the team wallet really shouldn't be holding more than 5% of the tokens really, supply unless it's locked. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, I like to see 100% locked. Okay. But sometimes there's reasons, maybe to have a little bit unlocked, but I really like to see 100% locked tokens myself. Now there's also what's called a stealth mints. And I don't know a lot about it, but I did come across it the other day. So I did want to share it with you. And even though, like I said, I'm not really, I'm not into the NFTs just yet, but it talked about the NFT. So I wanted to bring it to your attention because I just, found it interesting. They said this is when an NFT project flies under the radar until the mint is launched. which makes it so much easier for them to create FOMO. FOMO, fear of missing out, guys, in a short period. While it has some advantages, too many malicious devs out there take advantage of this. Now, here it gives an example. Established at NFT projects such as CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club, BAYC, okay, you see consistent development of the project. You see consistent things happening. BAYC collaborated with Adidas back in December, okay, to brand their NFT project. So they're very serious about what they do. So following, it's like following the chain, right? You follow the money trail and you always wind up, coming up with the right thing. The rule of thumb is to see the viability of a project instead of being swayed by social media. Guys, you know that. I mean, we get swayed every day by the news, right? 1 minute, everybody's this, and the next minute everybody's that, and we're listening to somebody else and we find out it's not true. Well, that happens in the crypto space too, okay? And that's how you get the fear of missing out. So they start to get you all jazzed up and they start to sway you, okay, and craze you out. So you want to actually jump in and get involved in something right away. Well, that's called FOMO, and you want to be very careful of that. So I say, what about the contracts? I'm going to actually share some things with the contracts in a minute, but I'm going to go through some of them as well. And so you kind of have an understanding as I'm actually going through it, what to look for in a contract. Well, there's a lot of things you can look at in the contract. I'm going to share with you about the green check mark. I'm going to that pretty much means that the BSC developer added a readable version of the exact match of the actual code that they're using. Meaning what you see on the BSC is the actual code that they deployed, or they will deploy, or that was deployed. Projects that have non-readable codes is usually a big red flag for me. What is a mint function? Essentially, that allows the contract owners to create more tokens out of thin air. Not a good thing. So I want to look at the contract and make sure there's no minting function in there. There are some projects, well, that it's legit, to have a minting, might be necessary. If a token is supposed to have a max supply, then having a mint function is a huge red flag. So if your token that you're looking at is supposed to have a max supply, then there should be never, ever, did I say ever, a minting function. Very important. And you can see that too when you're actually looking at the contract itself. Okay, contract ownership is another way, because that's an unsuspecting investor, right? Maybe taken advantage of, by scammers. I can tell you now, there's so many that happen out there. Okay, you're not suspecting it. You don't know what to look for. Okay, and they take advantage, of you because you're brand new. When the contract is owned, its creator can have access to many functions. Okay, one of them I told you was minting. The other ones are removing liquidity. Okay, they should not, once that liquidity is locked, my friends, they should not touch it. Okay, transferring coins between wallets, that should not be allowed. Okay, if that's allowed, then you know what, guys, stay away. I already talked about the minting function, which can make the volume of your investment pretty much worthless. Okay, so you want to be careful. Renounced ownership. What does that mean? In the beginning, when I first got started in the crypto space, I had no idea what that meant. That means that the creator of the coin's contract may no longer access these functions, and most developers take that step immediately after their launch. So when we launched Vetter, that's exactly what happened. Now, there may be instances where the token creator needs to hold ownership, but still this raises a really big flag for me in general. So what I'm saying is, for me, there's no excuse for, not to renounce ownership. Okay, no excuse for me, even though they may say that sometimes that may happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually close out this screen, and I'm actually going to go to the BSC scan. Hold on one second. All right. Let me just get out of here. And let me go back to where I was. All righty. I'm going to go to this token right here. This was actually a rug. And let me open my screen so you can view it at a full screen. This was a rug that happened probably a few months back. And as you can see, you know, everything spiked up, and then they, you know, sold some sell off, and a little bit more they bought, and then, you know, a little bit more, and a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, bam. I'm going to share with you some things that you can actually take a look at. Let's look at the contract itself. Okay, so first thing we're going to do here is we're going to actually click on read contract. Okay, now I'm not a developer, guys. I want you to understand that I'm not a dev. Okay, but I have researched a lot of this because I'm also a vetter. All right, so what you want to do is a couple things. You want to make sure that you don't see any minting. Now this is pretty much dead, so you want to make sure that nothing in here says minting. These are all functions that the contract actually has. Okay, when it says here maximum tax limit, okay, well, you want to make sure that, you know, this can be modified at times, and as you know, even with Better, we have the tax, because it's a gaming platform, that might be modified. But what I really look for here is, again, the minting function. Very, very important. I want to also go down a little further and see, let's see here, there's something else in here that I look at. The ownership. This should be ownership renounced. Okay. This is the ownership's wallet. It should be a dead address. It should be all zeros, and we'll explain more about that in a minute. Okay. And one of the other things that I like to look at too, and I'm looking for it here, is this is the team wallet address. We'll take a look at that once we get up there. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's in the read contract. Let's see here. Maximum transactions. I see maximum tax. Typically, there's a maximum transaction, and it's usually pretty much up near the top. And why I want you to take notice of that is because maximum transactions amounts, make sure this isn't so small that you're essentially trapped into a coin, or, a buy amount that is so small you can't even make money. What does that mean? That means that if you're in a trade, okay, but you can't, prevent you from selling a decent amount, that's pretty scary. You want to make sure that there's no maximum or minimum amount or maximum amount, in that realm. So let's see here. I want to go down to that. I want to find that ownership line again, because sorry guys, I look at so many of these, and ownership here. Okay. All right. Well, as you can see here, there's a wallet here. And typically, what I like to see is I like to see all zeros, just like the one I showed you back there where it said dead wallet. That's what I like to see. Okay. Having a wallet here to me is a little bit scary. Okay. It really should be all zeros for me. And if it's renounced, that means that no one can actually touch that contract. So if you see where there is not a renouncement, now there's two things it could be, and I wrote them down because I wanted to make sure I was clear. The owner is in another contract. The contract is acting like a deployer. So maybe, and I don't want to get into that because I don't really understand it myself, but there may be another wallet that is actually a contract that looks like a wallet. That might be something, to know. Now I'm going to scroll back up. The next thing I want to do is I want to go to the token tracker, and I'm going to click on that. Now the token tracker is right here. Okay, this is where it shows you how many holders there are. This is where it shows you the contract address. Okay, and you know, how many people are holding. Like I said, 270 people are still holding here, which I'm not sure why. I'm most interested in checking the holders, okay, and checking right here, you know, checking to see, you know, checking their wallets. And what you want to make sure of is that there's no single wallet or several wallets that are holding, you know, a large amount. Now, this first one here, this is actually Pancake Swap, and this is usually the liquidity, okay? And this one here is actually holding about 9.46%. That's kind of high. Okay, they say 10%, but I say anything over 5, 6, 7, 8% is no good for me. Okay, so just so you know, that's kind of you know, what that looks like. Now, sometimes Pancake Swap won't show up here, but you'll see it down here somewhere, and you have to kind of click on it, and you'll see that it's actually a Pancake Swap that's actually, you know, holding the liquidity. I like to look at and see if the percentages are pretty even. Okay, so the next thing I like to do is I like to actually take the contract, which is right here. And I like to actually go to, see, this is not arbitration. I know. Let me go here, copy this. Let me just back out of this for a second. And I'm going to go to Token Sniffer. It's just one that I like to use. And you don't have to use this. There's other ones out there. But let's just go ahead and put in the contract address. Okay. And what this does is this kind of gives you a little scan of actually what it's about. Okay, so, but what does it mean? Like, what does, you know, what does that all mean? You know, and that's something that, you know, you have to actually, you don't really know what this is all about, but you have to kind of do some research and go find out, you know, is the token sellable? It says yes at this time. Well, it's probably because there's still some liquidity. The buy fee is less than 10%. The sell fee is less than 10%. They verified that. They verified the contract source. Okay. Source does not contain a fee modifier. So that means that a source code contains a function which can modify. So they can actually modify, you know, the fees, and that's considered a high risk for a honeypot. Ownership's renounced or source does not contain an owner contract. That's for me right off the bat, that to me is not, you know, not cool. But you're probably saying to yourself, well, you're looking at it after it launched, right? Well, yeah, but you're going to look at the contract because you can get the contract, right? Because typically it's actually on what, Pink Sale or DX Sale. You can grab the contract and you can still come here and you can still look at, you know, what Token Sniffer says. You know, also Market Move has a great tool too. Usually, I think that's usually after the contract actually launches. So let's see if there's anything else that I can actually bring to your attention. Let's see. I think I may have covered a lot of it. Let me just make sure. I'm looking at some notes here because I do want to make sure that you know, there's no issues that you should see. Actually, you know what? Let me go back here. Yeah. Yeah, I think I covered this. So, all right. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to try to open it up for questions. Like I said, I am not an expert. I'm definitely not an expert in the DeFi space. Okay. I do my own due diligence. And I typically, what I do is I actually always, I do, I'm a researcher. I research and I try to look at things, you know, in the best of my ability. And I also look for advice, you know, when needed. So you definitely want to make sure that you can do that. So any questions so far? Was this helpful?
Hi, Phyllis. It's Wanda. Thanks for redoing this.
I
This is
know, I told
awesome.
you I would one day. I did.
It's fabulous. One thing that I've noticed, and I have actually been victim to a couple of rugs. So I've learned to follow my gut instinct because there was one time I was looking at buying an NFT. And even though the Telegram group seemed really vibrant, I went through all the steps. But then when it was time for an AMA, they only had 28 people on the call. And I thought, well, wait a second.
That's kind of weird, huh?
They have such a large Telegram group. Why is their AMA so small?
Because they
And
got it.
I should have listened to my gut because, yeah, it ended up being a rug pull.
You know, we all, I mean, look, I'm telling you, I scouted one myself that was a rug pull today. You know, I was very disappointed, but it happens, you know, and I followed this team in their last token. It did well. I followed them.
Apollo.
Right, yeah, exactly. I followed them right up to the last minute, and lo and behold, in the middle of the night, you know, one of the devs, who knows if they were both involved or not, one of them says that, you know, Jeremy, who is a dev that I know, you know, said that, you know, Jeff, you know, did this, and who knows what the story is, but, you know, it's a shame. It really is a shame because, you know, they'll ruin their name, but it happens. So, you know what, you do have to go with your gut. My gut told me it was going to be okay, but you know what, you never know. Maybe next time I wake up in the middle of the night, I should roll over and go check, right? But at any rate, but yeah, you know, I usually go with my gut, but I also usually do a lot of research too. But you know, sometimes it happens, you know, sometimes some of the best tokens out there, they have a bad launch, and you know, and they have to relaunch and all that kind of stuff. So that happens too. So don't beat yourself up too much because it happens to all of us. So no worries.
Yeah, just move on.
Yeah, just move on. You can't actually get attached to that for sure. So any other questions I can answer for you?
No, I think I'm good. Oh, I do have one more question.
Okay.
Sorry. I was looking at Crow Market, and so I've never done anything other than on the BSC network, right? So I'm wondering if there are any plans to go over those other networks in the upcoming presentations, or is it simply a YouTube search and you shall find?
Well, let me get there. Let me see who's on the call. Let me ask the question first of all. Are there any, if there's anyone new on the call, brand new, who's never been in the crypto space before, who's never been on the dApp before and needs help understanding the dApp? If you could just put a little bit of a message in there and let me know you're new, it's okay. All right, don't be nervous, because if you're new, then it's going to tell me where I should go next in regards to this. Okay, so everyone here that I see, everyone is let's see, let me make sure. All right, so I'm just going to make sure. Wanda, we know you're not new. Okay, Crypto Madam, are you new? Put no in the chat for me if you aren't. If you are new
No,
or
I'm
not.
No.
Okay, okay, great. And Daryl, oh, it's Crypto Madman. Sorry about that, Crypto Madman.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay.
Daryl, how about yourself? Are you new in the crypto space?
No, I'm not.
Okay, very cool. I want to make sure. Gary, I know you're not. Carl, you're not, right? Or are you? I can't remember.
It looks like we do have one new person.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. So
all right, well, very cool. I'm glad that someone spoke up, because that kind of makes me, you know, go into a different direction. Okay, so if I had everyone on the call who wasn't new, then, you know, I might be able to spend some other time. So Wanda, I will spend some time on that today, but I do want to go through the dApp because we have
absolutely, and we can, you know, it can be in the future, right? I mean, because there's so much to cover. You can't possibly cover everything.
You're absolutely right, but I'm happy to do it, and on Saturdays, because we don't have another call right after this, I don't ever care if I go over either. So if something, is that interesting and people are still hanging out and they want to continue somewhere else, I'll be happy to do that as
Beautiful.
well. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So go ahead and mute out, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of my water. All right. Let's look at this amazing dApp. Guys, this is really an amazing work of art. And I can tell you now, it's actually going to get better. And I can't give out all the secrets. I'm not going to give you any secrets, actually, because I'm sworn to secrecy. But, and I don't want to, let out anything. So I'm excited that you guys are here because you're here in the very beginning. And guys, most of you who are not brand new, you probably already saw a huge transition, of what this dApp looked like from square one right to now, and wait till you see what's going to happen in the near future. I'm really, really stoked about it, really. So let's take a look at this. Okay, just so everybody knows, everything here is pretty much, you're going to be able to see it over here too. Okay, so this is basically, if you click on Scout, this is going to give you your Scout ranking. Okay, this can fluctuate. Okay, it could be purple 1 minute and then you don't have a good project, and it can go down to green, it can go down to red, it can go down to beige, it can knock you right out, knock your socks off, right? But that's okay, because what's the beauty about this is because it actually helps you as an investor be able to identify what things are about. And I'll explain that to you as we go forward. You can also click on, a vetter, and the vetter will actually give you, 100, it'll give you your purple, like I'm purple vetter, right? And I'm probably a purple voter, right? So it gives you your information right here. And it also gives you the amount of money that you get paid, or the amount of vetter, I should say, that you want to make sure that you're going to get paid if you actually, and if I go out here today and scout a project, I'm going to make 1,750 vetter. Woohoo. Okay, if I was a purple, I'd make 2,250. So you can bet I'm striving to get back there, right? Same things with vetter. It gives you how much you'll be paid, and as a voter as well. Okay, so before I forget, and I don't want to be, I want to make sure that I recognize, that we have a new person on the call today, and I want to say welcome, because I can tell you now, you're in it. A lot of people, what I've seen people in the last year say to me, or the last 6-8 months, say to me, vetter was my very first token. And I'm like, wow, congratulations. Because you know what? Phew, you really picked an amazing one. So you want to make sure, guys, we have a great community, and I'm going to show you where you can get help. Okay, you can reach out to us at any time, and we will definitely help you. I want to make sure that you know that. So Nadia, I think you said you were the newbie, so I want to say welcome to you particularly, and of course, welcome back to everyone else. So let me move on. This is a hot list, so ignore this one because this is the one that rugged today. And as here, you'll see there's also ones here that are usually, these are usually put here by people, who usually, and we don't put them there, the system puts it there, okay, based on the track record of how the scout usually acts. So this is typically a place where you can go and see if you want to actually check that out. Okay, here is a snapshot of the entire month. Okay, a purple means that you are a purple ranked, scout or vetter. And you can tell in every day, what's actually launching, what are the colors, what are the ranks. The greens are good. The beiges actually are not bad. They're doing pretty well. Yellows are just getting started. And the reds had a couple bad ones, but you know what, guys, we all have them. So this will give you a snapshot. All right. Now, if you come over here, this is a great little category here. If you click, actually, you know what? I want to go back up because I want to share something with you that I didn't even know happened. You can click this little arrow
at tier 3
and our video pops up. You could do the same here.
Look at the tier key to see what is required.
So a lot of people want to know, what are the requirements? Well, you know what? I didn't even know that these existed. So there you go. You learned something today. I know I did. Whoops. Again, me with my keyboard. So let's get to the team stats. You're probably saying, well, bravo for them. Absolutely bravo for them, and bravo for you, because then you'll know who the leaders are, and you can turn around and you can actually follow, some of the leaders on the leaderboard and find out what they're doing, to be so successful. You can look at, I don't know, you can look at the top paid scouts. Okay. You can look at the top paid vetters. Okay. You can look at the top tipped scouts, because that means that they got tipped a lot in the past because they posted some great projects. So how does this help you? It helps you because if you wanted to go to this person here, you can click on it and you can go to their profile right from this section. So let's just back up. Tips and gains. I love this section because what this is going to do is it's going to tell you, who these are the people who actually did the scouting. And these are the people that actually got rewarded, because actually, I'm sorry, these are the people that got gains and tips. I'm on the wrong one. Gains and tips. These are the people that actually tipped those who scouted the projects. So guys, take a look at these. I can tell you now, Metal Ride has been up here almost every week. So maybe he's somebody you might want to follow, right? Captain Kurt, he's actually another really good one. And LDN, who just actually was one of the scouts, right? Scout of the week. So you can actually go and follow them. What does this mean? This means that they actually got these people here, made a 2x, a 3x, a 5x, a 1x, a 2x, a 15x with their projects. And then they tipped them, right? Because they wanted to say thank you. That's pretty awesome. Do you have to tip? Of course not. But is it nice to do that? You bet it is. All right. Now these tiers and ranks, the purple I already told you, but the tiers, I'm going to have you click on that little arrow here to explain what that all means. Okay. Each one of these tiers opens you up to more flexibility on the dApp. Okay. A tier 0 doesn't give you as much flexibility as tier 4. And tier 1 gives you a little bit more flexibility than tier 0, and basically so on and so forth. I'm sharing with you tier 4 today because that's what I'm at. And then you can actually see what all this is about. Okay, so you can actually see everything that the dApp does. This is also the video library, and I'm going to click on it. Now this is probably the smallest it's going to be. Okay, we are adding to this really right now, actually. Matter of fact, I'm working with a couple developers, we're videoing right now, we're writing scripts right now. So Nadia, you're going to be able to actually come back here and see some things that no one else saw in the very beginning. You're going to actually have a great, it's going to kind of look like this. And this is, well, I can't actually show this because, well, I can show it because I'm at that tier. You're going to be able to watch this video, and then there's going to be associated videos right underneath it. So if this is about MetaMask, then you're going to have other videos that are actually associated with MetaMask. So that's kind of how this is going to look. Okay, so we are creating that, and that will be out, I hope, really, really soon. It's something that we've been really pushing to get out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go over here. My mouse is really giving me a tough time today. I don't know why. I may have to switch it. All right, let's go to the calendar, right? You hear a lot about the calendar. Well, this is an amazing looking calendar as far as I'm concerned. It's incredible, the amount of information that's here. And what I'm going to share with you is this. You can actually look at this calendar by month. You can look at it by week. You can look at it by day. You can look at it in a list form like Sunday, Monday, so on. So let's look at it let's look at today. Now today we have some launches coming up. Okay. We had these launches that happened pretty much today. So you can actually, if you were in one of those launches, you can go see how they did. Okay. You can actually go to the week and go see. You can actually go tomorrow and see what's actually launching tomorrow. And see what's going on there, right? You can actually do that as well. And I'm going to get into this in a second, but I do want to go through this top category so you understand what it means. Okay. Network. This is what you were talking about earlier about the different networks. These are all different networks. Okay. And what this is here for is if you're a scout and you found something on Chronos, or you found something on another network that's, and you wanted to list it here on this calendar, you can do that. Okay. By actually, you just go ahead and list it. But as a user of the dApp, if you want to see what's actually happening in, let's say, Chronos, you can actually click that and you can actually see, what projects are actually launching on Chronos. Now, Chronos, I like. I believe it's owned by, if I'm not mistaken, by crypto.com. So I like what I see here. I actually got involved in the Crow market in the pre-sale. I think it's still probably live. And there's a way to do that. You have to actually have Crow. Okay. And there's a way to get that. And I can share that with anybody who wants to know how to do that. Towards the end of the call, just remind me. Okay. But if you're an investor and you want to see just specific, networks that you want to look at, you can actually click on this and it's going to actually modify it for you. So not only can you actually put projects on here from other networks, but you can also search it by other networks as well. Launchpad. Let me explain what it is. A launchpad is basically where a project usually launches from. Okay, it's brand new and it's going to pre-launch from a launchpad. Now, some of the launch pads like BSC pad and Unicrypt, they actually have, you actually have to have their token in order to actually, get into any of their projects, or there's some kind of a fee of some sort. To be honest, I don't know the whole thing because I don't use it. Okay. But some people do. There's a lot of IDOs on there, and I'm sure there's other people who use them. But you have to, for the most part, you have to own, the BSC pad token or the Unicrypt. And DXL and Pink Sale, you do not have to own any tokens to partake in those projects. Okay. Now the BSC pad and the DX and the Unicrypt, now you're going to find that their projects, some of them you're going to find are a little bit better than other places, because the fact is there's a lot of things that you have to do. You have to jump through hoops actually to be able to post your actual project on their Launchpad, just similar to what we're going to have with our Launchpad coming up real soon. But you're lucky, right? Because you already have Vetter, and that's going to allow you, depending upon, which level you are, to be able to have access, to the Vetter platform, and to have access to the new, I don't want to say the word because we're not sure it's going to be that, and I don't want anybody to steal it if it is, but we have a new Launchpad. So you're going to actually be a part of that, and you're going to be able to have royalties and all kinds of great things and allocations. And I'm not going to get into it now, guys, because that's a whole different fault. That's a whole different call, but that's basically what a Launchpad does. Okay. So the category is basically the category that you would like to look at. Or if you're posting, if you're scouting a project, you can post them and put the category in of the category that explains what it's about, right? So if you're into gaming, you might want to come here and you might want to just search this just for gaming projects. You might get on here and say, oh, I don't care about any of these. I just want to know what the gaming projects are. Well, you can do that easily. Okay. What if you want to know just about Launchpads? Or if you just want to know about meme tokens. Okay, notice how these are becoming a little bit less and less. Okay, that's because the utility tokens are actually becoming greater and greater. Okay, rewards tokens, you can actually, usually these are reflections or rewards types tokens. Okay, so you can pick and choose what it is that you want to post, but you can also, as an investor, be able to pick and choose what you want to look at. Okay. And it makes for you to be able to actually streamline this pretty simply. Like let me give you an example. You know, if I have a job that's very demanding, but I have like 20 minutes in the morning and I like to see what's going on, and I like the BSC scan, right? And let's see, I'm sorry. I like pink sale, let's say, okay. And I want to see what's on Binance, and I want to see the category of gaming. Well, this narrows down what I'm going to look at, right? Well, for 15 minutes, I can go to each one of these and look at them, okay, and see if it's something that I like to get involved in, right? Instead of going through an entire category, okay, of projects. Okay, so you can actually do that, which is awesome. Event types: private sales, pre-sales, fair launches. Okay, private sales are coming up more and more these days, but you got to be really careful with private sales. Okay, most of the time you really want to make sure that you know who the developers are, like the developers of Vetter. Okay, they're amazing developers. They have a track record. Their projects, Vetter is still up and running. You're looking at it. Okay, so they have a good track record. So I wouldn't be too afraid of getting involved with the private sale. In fact, I'm heavily involved with the private sale because I have a lot of belief in what this project is going to do, because I know the devs personally and I know what kind of people they are, and it's going to be amazing. Okay. But again, you want to make sure before you get into a private sale, you know what you're doing. Okay. Pre-sales are basically when a project actually is launching from a Launchpad and they're coming out in a pre-sale. That usually means the price is a little bit cheaper than it would be at launch. Sometimes it's not, okay, but it'll allow you to get in before it actually goes to the public launch, which is typically like Pancake Swap for BSC, and there's other, Uniswap, and there's other ones for other categories, okay? And then there's fair launches, which is basically where someone actually, I think Crow Market's a fair launch, I believe, right? They're just, you can put as much as you want into it. They're going to raise as much as they like, and then they're going to go ahead. I believe that they have another, actually, you know what? Thank you, Sleepy Guard, for putting that out there. I was trying to remember when it was actually up. It's up in another 3 hours. The pre-sale will be up, and it is launching tomorrow. So just FYI for everybody who's interested in that, but that is I believe that is a fair launch. Okay. All right. Ranks. If you want to, maybe you're just basically brand new, or actually maybe you're really busy and you don't have time to really look at a lot of projects, but you only want to see maybe what the purples have, you can do that. If you want to see the purples and the greens, you can do that. If you want to see them all, just unclick and it shows you all of them. All right. Oracle. Oracle is going to tell you the duration of the history of what the scouts and have done, the vetters have done in the past, of what their success rates were in a 24-hour period, 7-day period, 30-day period, or overall. So for instance, if you're someone who likes to get into projects and make money in 24 hours, you might want to take a look at this and look at those types of projects that are out there that those people typically will usually do well. Okay, so you can do that in 7 days, you can do it in 30, you can do it in overall. Okay, but this is the all duration. You can make your choice. I love this category. And the next one is filters, and this is how you can filter. For instance, maybe you want to be involved in projects that were vetted only. Okay, maybe you want to be involved with, you want to see what was recently added to the platform because you were here yesterday and you know what, you already went through the platform. So why go look at, you know, stuff that's already here when I can see the new stuff that just got listed, right? Great thing to have. Okay, what if I wanted to make sure if, let's see this, like, let's say you wanted to look at, I only want to participate in projects that have a whitelist. What's a whitelist? It's when you actually have to do some things to market for them. And then a lot of times you'll win a whitelist, well, that you can actually get into their pre-sale earlier than other people. Okay, so this here again is called a filter. So everything I showed you, it takes a little bit of time to get used to, but what I suggest is I want to make sure that you know, you understand how to actually purchase Vetter as well. Okay, and you can do that right from this site. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually go back here. Is it here? No, it's here. Am I missing it? You should be able to buy from here. All right, guys, give me a second. It's making me crazy. I'm going to go to Vetter.ai. I'll take you this way. I'm sure it's there. I'm probably just not seeing it. And so being cognizant of your time. If you go to Vetter.ai, you're going to click the buy button right here. You click buy. It's going to automatically connect you to PancakeSwap. You're going to click on I understand. You're going to click import. You're going to have to go over here to connect your wallet. You pick what wallet you have. I have MetaMask. And then what you're going to do is you're going to decide on how much Vetter you want. Okay, so if you want, I don't know, say you want to get, you know, 200,000 Vetter, that's how much it's going to cost you, 1.598 MBNB. Okay, and right now I don't have enough BNB in there. So, but typically if this was correct, you would click swap and it's going to swap it out. And then over here, it's going to give you a little drop down that's going to say add to MetaMask. So that means add Vetter to MetaMask. You're going to click it. And what that's going to do is that's going to add it right to your MetaMask wallet. That's how you buy Vetter. Okay. Again, how I got here was right through the Vetter.ai. Okay. Right through here to buy. You can also click here to get to the dApp. Okay. All right. So I didn't even get a chance to go to the platform, guys, because we had so much information that I wanted to make sure we shareified. You know, I want to make sure, just for clarification for new peeps, you need to be at tier 4. That is correct. To have 500 Vetter or more to use the Oracle feature. That is correct. Thank you. Like I said in the very beginning, everything I'm showing you is, you know, at that tier 4 level, guys. So I'm going to quickly go to the dApp calendar because I just want to make sure. Let's go to, let's see, today is, it's tomorrow's Crow, right? Okay. Crow is the project we were talking about today, Crow Market. All right. So if you go to Telegram right here, we've been watching this project and we know it's launching. It's actually, the pre-sale will end in 3 hours and 30 minutes. So I'm going to click on this. Okay. I have to switch the network. Okay. Because it's on the Kronos network. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Whoops, I said switch networks and I never switched it. Okay. Kronos. All right. See here, guys, it says 2 hours and 59 minutes left. Okay, this is a fair launch. They wanted to raise 20,000 Crow, but of course they've raised a heck of a lot more. What this means is that there usually is no max buy, with a fair launch. So you can pretty much get whatever you want. So this is in progress. So if you wanted to be a part of this, okay, you would have to go to this pink sale. You would put the amount that you want and you would click buy, okay? And you would want to take this wallet address, not this one, this wallet address, and you would want to add this to your MetaMask wallet because that is the token address, okay? So I'm not going to get into all of this with you because it's a little bit more involved, okay? But you would have to actually add Kronos, okay, like I have, okay, on my network. So it's really easy to do, okay? So, but I'm not going to overload you with any more of that type of information because I know it can get it can get you in the weeds here. And I don't want to force you guys into something and you're like, oh my God, I got to know that, within so many minutes or whatever. So don't worry about it. Okay. So let's just go back and let's go back to that platform, to Crow Market. Okay. A lot of things that we saw, most of the important things that we saw with Crow was that we know the fact that that Kronos is a really great platform. Also, it's a Kronos based token. It has it's going to generate a lot of great stuff for us. I know Kronos. I actually posted a couple projects on Kronos myself. One of it was called Crow, I think CROWE. And that did pretty well. I think it's still out there, as a matter of fact. But Crow Market, what they do is they aim to be like the PooCoin. So PooCoin is the exchange, right? Where we took you to before. This is what PooCoin is. So they're looking to actually have an exchange like PooCoin with more functionality, okay, which is going to be great. So it's going to be a Crow Market will have a multiple utility. They're going to include charting tools. They're going to include a Crowmart NFT marketplace. They're going to have a Launchpad for Kronos-based tokens, and it's going to have a multi-bridge so that they can actually bridge to bring more investors to the Kronos chain. Okay, now in order to buy Kronos, I'm just going to hit with this a little bit. You have to actually get that through, and I'm drawing a blank on it, and I went there today. Oh gosh, why am I drawing a blank? It's called something really weird. Let me see. Anybody help me out with that? No, it's not Evo. It's oh my goodness gracious. No, it's not that either. Let me just go here, and I posted it, I think, this morning for the.
Are you thinking crypto.com to get
No, that's actually crypto.com is where you would buy, but it's not. You can buy it there. But
Are you talking about to flip it back? You mean?
Yeah, I want to actually get, like today, I actually flipped some of my BNB to Crow. So because I had BNB, hold on, let me get there.
Yeah, I was told Finance, but I've never used Finance.
I use a different one. Anyway, it's a different one, and I can't believe I can't remember the name of it. And I'm actually sharing this with you right now. Lordy. Let me see if I can see it like as clear as day. And for the life of me, I can't remember. Well, at any rate, I actually did this morning. What I did is I wanted to buy, use my B&B that I already had. So I didn't have to go out and just, spend more money on Crow. So there is a way to actually flip that. You can get it through crypto.com as well. Let me go back to my history. Let me just see that. Hmm. Oh, sorry, guys. I really wanted to tell you this in case, because I thought it was really pretty simple to use. And I did all my swapping around and it worked out really well. And I don't see it. And I don't know how come, because I was on it. All right, any rate, I'm not going to take any more time. So basically, you can, let's see. Yeah, someone just said you can see it from KuCoin and send it to me. You could do it that way too. But I actually, what I did is I flipped it from B&B. So there's all different ways to do it. So if you wanted to do that, well, guys, it is getting late and I hope you got a lot of value of today's call. If there's something that you want me to break down for you, meaning in my next call, you want me to break down something that is more specific, like today I broke down rug pulls. I'd love to be able to know what that is. So if you can share that with me, I'd be happy to actually, get that prepared for you guys so that you can actually, so you can learn more about, what we're doing here. And there's so many parts of crypto that we don't understand, right? But I'd be happy to, share them with you. So if you ever, want to know something, or you want me to actually do something, for you, just put it in our Telegram group. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you that. You want to go to support, and we have our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all our stuff is right here too. Okay. So guys, it has been a great day. Thank you so much for being here and being with me today. It's been a real pleasure. And like I said, happy Easter, whatever holiday you're celebrating. If you have a holiday, I pray that you do, have it with your family and your friends, and have a really great weekend. So thanks so much, everyone. And love to hear about what you'd like to see on our next call. My next call I'm doing is on Tuesday. Ryan will be doing the call on Monday. We do not do calls on Sunday. So thank you, everyone. Happy Easter and have a great, great night. Take care.